and you mentioned shared interests and shared problem. And when you were speaking, it made me think of how I created this Bible study community where actually before this podcast, I do a Bible study every Saturday morning. And the problem that me and my friend were having, this was before I found my church, was we were both looking for a church because I don't know, finding a church can be hard. One that you really trust, one that you want to go to, one that you don't feel like it's all about the preaching, but also about the community. So he was like, "Yo, man, I'm having a hard time finding a church," and I'm like, "Yo, it's the same here, bro." And we had a long conversation, and then me and him were like, "All right, like." I can't find a church. You can't find a church. Why don't we just start our own little church and do a Bible study? And every Saturday morning, we get together, we talk about God. And because we both know each other, it was very personalized towards us. And then we just slowly started inviting other friends, telling other people what we do. Now it's a small but very strong community of 4 men who get together every Saturday morning, consistently talking about God and how we can get closer. And I've been doing this for a year and a half. And one of them is a very new believer who wasn't really into God. And we hear all types of testimonies of how much their lives have changed as a result of just doing this, holding men accountable for things that they can be better at, and just consistently talking about God. And even for not being representations of God, it's like that quote, iron sharpens iron. By
100%.
doing that, we're just all getting better. And it kind of goes to your point, shared interests. The interest was we all want to connect with God. We want to get closer to God. Shared problem. We couldn't find a church because we just can't. None of us, or we would like a church, but we couldn't find one. So we created one, and yeah, that was it.
I love that. And then number one, of course, is speaking, and again, to things that are near and dear to my heart, men's ministry, connecting with men, godly men. You're the fact that you found people that are willing to do that, even outside of a church necessarily, is so powerful, brother, because this is where, like you said, it doesn't matter what the size of the community. It's
Yes.
the depth of that. So
Yes.
you're right. In
Yes.
the Bible is very clear. Ecclesiastes,
Yes.
two, two. What is that? The
Two
threefold
is
cord
better
is
than
not two is better than one. The threefold cord
yeah.
is not easily broken. Once you get to that third, once you get to that fourth, and you realize like, hey, we can do this, and it doesn't matter. The size becomes
Yes.
not important. It's
Yes.
not important anymore. Now you're like, okay, if more people join us, they will have something that's solid to join. It's
Yes.
something that will stick together. We know what our purpose is. You don't necessarily need like a big billboard or whatever to market it. People are just like you said, cycle back to authenticity, right? If it's authentic, if people have joined for that shared purpose and that shared problem, now it's like, okay, if you are one of us, Seth Godin's a marketing guy, a
Yes.
marketing guru, says culture is one simple word. People like one simple phrase. People like us do things like this.
Yes.
That's culture. So you're building a culture in your group,
Yes.
right? And that is creating a community. The community has a culture.
Yeah.
People like us get together on Saturday mornings and talk about the Bible as men without feeling any kind of shame or
Yes.
weirdness or whatever
Yeah. Yeah.
about being guys talking about the Bible, right?